Hello everybody and welcome to the top 10 nerfed sets in the Elder Scrolls Online. This is going to be a top 10 video looking at 10 sets that I think have over time been nerfed because they were just too darn OP. Big shout out to KristoferESO. Thank you so much, man, for the suggestion on this video. If you guys have any suggestions for future top 10 videos, feel free to put it in the comment section, and the top suggestion will move on to the next top 10 video. So let's continue on, guys. Coming in at set number 10, we have the Mage. Now, this is a set that has been in the game for quite a bit of time, and unfortunately, it used to be a lot stronger than it is today. So if we look at the set today, we see the max magicka, spell damage, max magicka, and then when you deal damage with the fully charged heavy attack, you restore 834 magicka. We take a look at the old Archmage set, and we see that the 5-piece used to reduce the cost of your magicka abilities by 8%. So essentially, Archmage used to be a copy of the Seducer set, however, it had much more offensive options in the 3 and 4-piece, as opposed to the Seducer being magicka, magicka recovery. So there you have it. This was a good set. I mean, after they did this change, they effectively destroyed the 5-piece on this set. To put this in kind of comparison, in order for Archmage to be performing the same way that it used to, you would have to be pulling 1 heavy attack every 2 abilities that you cast. Yeah, so this set, unfortunately, has been kind of nerfed into uselessness. Let's move on to set number 9. We have quite a common set that you still see a lot of people running, the Plague Doctor set. So this is a huge max health set. As you can see, we've got max health, healing taken, and then on the 5-piece, we've got the 4,000 maximum health. The old Plague Doctor set used to have 6,000 maximum health for the 5-piece on it. Now, if you're playing an HP-based build and you've got a lot of things going into your maximum health, that extra 2,000 health works out to be well over 3,000 extra HP that was taken off this set. So if we take a look at the build that I'm running right now, I have Plague Doctor on. If it still functioned the same way that it did, I would be at over 6,300 maximum health, effectively giving me a 5% increase to my maximum health. So there you have it, guys. Plague Doctor, however, is still a very, very good set today. They did nerf it because it was, well, kind of just too OP. So I think it's in a good spot now. Let's move on to number 8. So coming in at number 8, we have one of the most popular helm sets in the game. It is a very old helm set that was added when the monster helms were first introduced, and it is the Engine Guardians Visage set. So here we have it, guys. We see the 1-piece health recovery, and then on the 2-piece, 1,200 health, magicka, or stamina is recovered every 0.5 seconds for 6.5 seconds when you use an ability, and that has a 10% chance for that to occur. So the reason that this set is actually on the nerfed list is not because this set was actually statistically nerfed. If you look at the statistics of the Engine Guardian set, it's actually very consistent, and it has had roughly the same amount of return on your resources as it has always had throughout the game. But the big nerf that hit this set was being no longer able to repent the dead robot. So what made this set really strong was when you'd run it on a Templar, you could use your repentance ability, and you'd effectively turn it into a huge amount of incoming resources. So not only would it give you the resources from the tether, but you get the heal and the extra stamina off of it. And after the change that prevented this set from functioning in that way, so you can no longer repent the robot, well, this set kind of lost its allure. It's still a good sustained set, but it just doesn't have that really powerful combination that it used to that made it really, really shine. Alright, guys, moving on to number 7, we have Earthgore. So this is a fairly recent set. It's been in the game for about a year now. And I'm sure you guys have seen it before. So when you heal a friendly target that's under 50% HP, you conjure a pool of quenching blood, which soak up an enemy-placed effect instantly and heals all friendly targets for 32k over 3 seconds. And this can occur once every 35 seconds. This set used to be so much better. It used to remove all negative effects underneath the enemy. I mean, like, this was like walking around with a ground purge, so you can just ground purge negative effects that are in front of you. Such a powerful set. So many times I've been in PvP and been denied kills because someone in the group is running Earth Gore, and it makes it so difficult to capitalize on those kills, especially when this set used to be really powerful and absorb all the negative effects. Now it only absorbs one negative effect. However, I still think Earth Gore is a fantastic set and definitely not on the weak side today. So let's move on to number 6. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a heavy armor set, Black Rose. So Black Rose is here for a couple reasons, and we'll get to them. Let's take a look at the set. We see max health, max stam, max magicka, so very open-ended. You can use it for all kinds of different builds from the look of it, and then the 5-piece continues on that tradition. Increase your weapon and spell damage by 154, so sticking to a hybrid-esque style of set, so you can go either way with it. And then finally, you get the increased magicka and stamina restored from the Constitution passive by 35%. So back in the day, this was originally 50%, and then it got nerfed to 40% and then 35%, so it got nerfed a few times to get to where it is now. And on top of that, back in the day, the Constitution passive in heavy armor used to be much more effective than it is today. The Constitution passive today returns a fraction of what it used to return before. I would say it was well over double. So with the Black Rose set and a good amount of HP, which your Constitution passive used to scale off of, you could have massive amounts of return on your resources just by having a high hit point value. So it made it one of the most powerful sets in PvP, because we all know how good high HP is for PvP, keeping you from getting bursted, and just having your high HP be your sustain is simply what made this set so OP in the past. Nowadays, the set is still pretty good. I mean, it's not the best sustain set anymore. It has a lot of stiff competition, and it is definitely outshone by other damage sets. So there you have it. It's still an okay set, but definitely used to be very, very powerful. Let's move on to number 5. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Bone Pirate. Now, this is a very, very popular medium armor set. I would go as far to say as the most popular medium armor set in the game, and it used to be even better than it is today. So we take a look at Bone Pirate now, and we see that it has the max stam, stam recovery, max stam on the 5-piece. We get 2k max stam and 150 recovery. Well, when this set was originally released, it gave you 300 stamina recovery on the 5-piece as well. Absolutely insane. So it really pushed the limits of what you could do with the max stat build. I personally used this set when it was very OP, and now I've used it when it's just how it is today. It is still a fantastic set, and yeah, it used to be very, very strong, but it is by no means a bad set, and still deserves its spot as one of, if not the most popular stamina set in PvP for a medium armor build. All right, coming in at number 4, we have yet another very popular PvP set, the Troll King set. Now, this set didn't actually get nerfed. Similar to the Engine Guardian, it was gameplay changes that kind of occurred that led to this set inadvertently being nerfed. So we see the 1-piece healing done, and then on the 2-piece, we get that if they're dropped below 50% HP, the health recovery is increased by 1548. So the 50% HP value used to be 60%, but that's arguably not a huge deal because it's not a huge margin that got changed by. A little bit of a nerf to the set, but the biggest kicker that Troll King took was health regeneration being affected by healing reduction abilities. For the longest time, health regeneration was unchecked by healing reduction entirely, and it led to health regen being incredibly good in PvP, simply because, as you know, in PvP, all your stats, all your abilities and heals are halved in their effectiveness, but your health recovery continues to restore whatever flat amount it does. So it's effectively twice as good in PvP as it is in PvE, and that led to Troll King being one of the best sets for any build, really, for quite a long time. But due to the changes to health recovery, it still leaves Troll King being a very effective set, but forcing players into thinking about that counterplay to how they keep themselves alive on their build. Also adding the counterplay to players who kind of had builds sorted out that you couldn't find weaknesses to. So good changes, I think, to bring this set kind of back down to where it needed to be, but it's still, like I said, a very strong set today. Now let's move on to number 3. we have Celine's. Now, Celine's is arguably one of the most powerful instant damage proc sets in the game. And there was a time when proc sets used to function instantly off of your attack. So whenever you took a swing with your sword, you had a 15% chance for it to instantly deal the additional damage that your proc set has. Now, the proc sets since then have been changed to have counterplay, which is absolutely fantastic. There's kind of a massive outcry from the PvP community for that to happen, and it finally got implemented, which is great. But this set used to be an absolute nightmare in PvP. Look at that base damage. I am not in a damage spec right now, so that's a 13k physical without champion points invested into it. Holy man, that could get up to 16, 17k on the right build. That is so much damage, and it used to proc instantly off of an attack randomly. So you could effectively use this set to deal massive amounts of burst damage just by swinging light attacks at somebody. I mean, it was absolutely insane during the proc meta, just having to deal with these literally no-skill damage builds because of these sets. It was so frustrating. People would just hit you with anything and you just get one-banged if you didn't have a certain amount of max HP. So there you have it, guys. I love that these sets got nerfed. They were way too powerful. I mean, it was like the worst meta to play through because of these sets, and this was one of the worst culprits, and that is why it made this list. Should you use it in PvP today? I think maybe if you can time it with a stun, it can be a very effective set, but if you're not timing it with a stun, I don't think it will work out very well for you. So there you have it, guys. Alright, moving on to set number 2, we have Celine's best friend, Viper's Sting. Yes, here it is, the infamous Viper Sting Celine combo, the ultimate trolly Nightblade build that we saw during the proc meta. It was just, oh, it was so terrible to fight. I mean, it literally took nothing to play that build and just easily get kills, because, oh my god. Anyway, Viper's Sting, the same deal as Celine here, except what we have on Viper's Sting is the instant proc instead of a chance for it to occur. So you could reliably get it to proc every 4 seconds as long as you just didn't gank someone for 4 seconds. Now, the damage on this ability now is a damage over time, so it goes over the duration of 4 seconds. It used to just be the flat damage and then a 4-second cooldown, and it was just off any random attack, so you would easily see things like Viper Celine light attack dealing well over 15k damage to a player. And yeah, this was one of the hugest culprits as well. Paired with Celine, these two sets made PvP an absolute nightmare for quite a while. But yeah, so glad to see this set nerfed. I think it is still a really strong set today. I think it's better than Celine's because it is a damage over time effect. Now it has a lot of counterplay through Purge, but still, just the fact that it's a dot, it allows you to play a very heavy dot build. So it's one of the great sets for a different style of damage that not a lot of people go for in PvP. Okay, let's take a look at the #1 OP nerfed set. In my opinion, of course, guys, this is subjective. Trainee. Now, this was a personal heartthrob for me because I loved the old Trainee set before it got nerfed. Looking at Trainee now, it's got max health, max stam, max magicka, and then the 5-piece gives you 1250 max health, magicka, and stamina. Now, if we take a look at the old Trainee set, it gave you the same 2, 3, 4-piece, but on the 5-piece, it gave you double of all of the values, 2,500 max health, magicka, and stamina. That means your 5-piece on Trainee is giving you 7,500 base stats. Now, I know that that sounds insane, and it is insane because that is a massive amount of base stat for a set to give. That is the highest that any 5-piece has ever given, I think, in the history of ESO, especially for a flat, non-proc effect. But it was just max HP. That's kind of the argument here that, you know, and I make this argument because if you look at Trainee now, it only gives you 3,750 max stat, which is not a lot. I mean, it's half of what it used to be, and half was a super harsh amount to nerf this set. You know, back in the day, this set, we saw it in a lot of things. We saw it cropping up in Sork builds, hybrids. We saw it cropping up in Magicka, stamina builds. Didn't matter. This was kind of like early Shackle Breaker. But nope, ZeniMax took it away from us, but they gave us Shackle Breaker later on. So there you have it, guys. Trainee, the most OP set from the past that is now nerfed, unfortunately, into relative uselessness. It's not even that good a set anymore, so it's sad to see where it has gone and where it came from. Alright, that's it for the video, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. Remember to hit that like and subscribe button if you guys like this content and you want to see more. And we are also doing suggestions for top 10s. So like I said at the beginning of the video, if you have any suggestions for another top 10, throw them down in the comment section and we will pick the best one and move forward. Finally, guys, this channel is sponsored by What the Fast, a VPN for gamers. If you guys have crap ping to your favorite games and you're looking to maybe fix that, maybe a VPN is going to be what helps you out with it. It is free to try from the link in the description. Have a great night, guys, and I hope to see you again.